So just follow the circles that are on the screen. Follow the demonic circles that are on the screen. Meanwhile, by the way, we're not devil
Okay,
worshippers, all right?
no, I'm not even a believer, so
Yeah, so don't even think that we're just this is subliminal, nothing like that. It's just a regular loading screen.
yeah. I'm gonna mute my microphone for a second so you see something.
Okay, testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Follow my voice. Testing 1 2 3. Testes 1 2 3. Follow the wonderful sounds of my voice. 1 2 3. I don't know. Can you hear it?
Yeah, but can you go to gameplay so I can hear if it gets drowned by the gameplay?
Gotcha. All right. I'm somewhere in hell, so I'm out
I
of
just got an
ammo.
article. I got an article now. Tuck?
Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Follow the sweet sounds of my wonderful voice. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Yeah. Hell yeah.
You might want to turn down the volume on the game.
Gotcha. So what I'll do is let
Because
me go to the menu. Audio, master volume, right? Let's go to 70. How about that? Oh shoot! Did not save it. All right. All right. Can you hear me? Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3.
okay, hold on, let me catch up to that part.
All right. Meanwhile, I'll just jog in hell right now. I think I already went down here. All right. Forgot I was out of ammo already. Damn.
Yeah, that should be it.
That's good? We're
That
good?
should be good. Yeah, that's good.
Awesome. All right. So welcome back to our podcast, Reboot Robot Podcast number 13, the big 13. And it's almost Halloween, so 13 is a perfect number to make a podcast, right?
It is the perfect number. Probably we're gonna lose subscribers because it's gonna be the Bad Luck podcast.
Oh, damn it. We should have skipped it, dude. Don't they skip that like in elevators and stuff? Like there's
Yeah,
no...
yeah,
Shit. We should have
in
said
some places they
14.
do. Yeah, instead of being like 13 of bad luck, we could do like it could be like 13 as in Friday the 13th, because horror what is Horror is coming up.
Yeah, or
So it could
October,
be more
true.
like instead of bad luck, it could be of Jason's luck
There you
or
go.
whatever.
That's very true. So, I mean, hopefully it's a scary podcast. And the fact is, right now I'm playing gameplay of Doom right now. We're going to talk about BIOSHOCK, the remastered version. The one Infinite, BIOSHOCK Infinite. But as everybody knows, if you have the game, you cannot stream none of the gameplay. And for
Yeah.
that, I mean, do you even know why? I haven't even investigated that because I didn't even get the game yet.
Okay, there is no what I got from 2K, because I wrote to them on Twitter
Yeah.
because I was pretty pissed because I had something planned. As you know, I had already something planned.
Yeah.
I already had something planned for BioShock 2, so I was pretty upset, and they actually didn't give me a reason. But the thing is, what everybody's been implying based on forum posts and some other stuff is that people, I mean, the port of the game is not that good, so it has some bugs and stuff that might harm the reputation of the game.
You gotta be kidding me. That's the first
So
time I've ever seen that, dude.
especially with the PC port. So that's probably why. Some people are saying that's possibly why the reason why is why the streaming is forbidden.
Prohibited.
But, yeah, but it's upsetting because
It's very upsetting, man. We were going to have like a little party going on, man, a little BioShock get together and stuff, but obviously that couldn't be done.
Exactly, because yeah, we're planning we're planning something cool for you guys, and right now, unless until they allow it. And the thing is, I do have the equipment to stream it like without the PlayStation, I stream it from my computer and stuff. But two things: one, I had always had technical difficulties with that, so it normally takes a lot of. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. Second, if they are already like this is stringy with the streaming, I don't want to upload something and they then get a copyright strike.
And we will, because I heard they're getting a copyright happy, so I mean they're really copywriting everything right now, dude. Actually, there's a copyright troll right now, dude. Have you heard about that? Some dude just flagging all kinds of videos.
I haven't, but what I heard though, even is that YouTube is trying. No, I haven't heard. Actually, saw YouTube is trying to start this program called the YouTube Heroes.
Oh man, that's everywhere, dude. I've seen Angry Joe talk about that, and it's like it's encouraging for you to flag videos and all that. I mean, I'm not going to criticize it more because I think if we talk about it, we might get flagged, dude. Because I saw a few YouTubers talk about it and they got flagged.
It'll be pretty ironic, but yeah. Well, what I'm gonna say, I want to say is that yeah, it's dumb. I don't think
it's producing.
It's a good idea.
No, it's producing snitches, man.
Yeah, it's just producing a bad culture within YouTube.
Snitches get like stitches.
And the thing is, some people have their livelihood bound to YouTube, so some of that people might actually get off or lose their jobs just because some stupid policy. But anyways, we don't want to go into that because we don't want to get flagged.
Yeah, we're not. So I mean, that's our intro of the day. So let's talk about BioShock. I have not gotten this remaster. You did. I understand you played 1 and 3, and 2 you're saving it for a special occasion due to a bet that we had in the past, which we'll probably talk about that later.
Yeah, well, if you want to hear all about it, I posted a video just a few months ago, and the podcast also there. It's a last Decim podcast when all the crew got together. So
exactly.
There you go. So what can I say about the collection? Okay, let me talk first about the collection overall, and I can go into each game. Just first of all, I'm pretty biased. Why? Because BioShock is pretty much one of my favorite games ever.
Yes, of course.
BioShock Infinite, I'm gonna disclose it right now, is my favorite game of last generation. And I just found that out when I replayed it, that it's probably the only game.
Because you were playing it at a wonderful 60 frames per second, HD. I mean, I played it on PC, so I got a pretty good idea on how that is, which the game is gorgeous. I mean, I remember the fact that when you were going on the rails with the railgun and stuff, how cool that looks, how smooth that looks, right?
Yeah, and remember what I told you before, that the only game that I would actually get, or actually would get excited if they remaster was this game?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, so yeah, and it is first about the collection. The collection itself is really good because they did deliver on the 1080p 60 frames per second.
Nice.
The game that they remastered the most, or they worked the most on, was on the original BioShock. Most of the work, that's a game that they got into, and they actually did some upgrade the lights and upgrade the models and stuff.
Right.
And it does look a little bit different. If you played a lot of the original BioShock, you can notice some of the stuff, especially with the lighting in some places. It does change a little bit, and some particle effects, new things here and there, and overall the quality on the game is pretty polished. It does have a few bugs, although not many, as to restrict Astro Strike streaming directly from PlayStation of that game. I only had one hard crash where I had to restart the whole console.
Really?
Just once and a couple hitches. Actually twice. Once the game almost the game crashed on me, but it restarted automatically, so I didn't lose anything. But once when I crashed and I lost that save. But the thing is, I always do this, and whenever the games allow it, I have backup saves, so I had to restart one of my older saves. It wasn't that far, just about probably like 15 minutes that I lost. So yeah, it does have some technical issues. Not enough to block streaming because it's not a horrendous port. It's not a horrendous remaster like other games. And it does look pretty. Some of the things are pretty subjective, so some of the atmosphere changed a little bit because of the lighting difference,
Right. Yeah.
and stuff, and some different shadows and stuff. So if you're a purist, you might be annoyed by some things. If not, it's just a treat. So yeah, the port on BioShock 1 is good. I did like it. I did enjoy it a lot playing, and I enjoy a lot replaying it. But I'll get back into that in a moment once I talk about like the actual game. BioShock 2, I just played a little bit just to try it out. It is not that the remaster is not as big as the other one.
Right.
You can notice like the higher frame rate and the higher textures. I mean the higher pixel count and stuff. But it is not as notorious as BioShock 1, and BioShock Infinite pretty much is the same game. It does run like a high-end PC version. It does run at 1080p, has high resolution textures and 60 frames per second all the time. And it is the one game that I had the most bugs with, because sometimes the game hitches, and sometimes the frame rate drops to 30s.
30s?
To the 30s. Yeah, sometimes it is not that big of a deal, because I only noticed the frame rate dropping badly only on the last fight, the very last fight. The other fights it does drop, but you cannot notice it. It's not big enough that you can actually that it affects gameplay, but it does drop. So it is the one that requires a little bit more polishing, or probably a patch will benefit the most.
Okay.
And the funny thing is, the game comes in 2 discs, and on the first disc you get the original BioShock and BioShock 2.
Right.
And on the other disc you have BioShock Infinite and all the add-ons.
Really? So it's
Also
3 discs. That's the first I've heard about multiple games in different discs. Ever since the 360.
It is two discs. But
2
yeah.
discs, yeah.
Yeah, it has to. Yeah, it has to. So yeah, I guess they're pretty big games. Also, one more thing: the BioShock, the original game, has a director's commentary, and it is an in-game collectible. It is not bound to trophies, so if you get the platinum trophy back in the day, you can still get it here.
Oh, nice.
Without doing anything extra. But yeah, it is bound to a collectible, so you can need to find these reels, and you can get some insight on the creation of the game. And yeah, I learned a couple new things that I didn't know before.
That's pretty cool, man.
Yeah, like for example, the fact that when they created BioShock Infinite first, they were not planning to make a shock game. It just came after they figured out the setting. And second, they had they had a setting for a game before they even planned everything. And then Ken Levine, he visited New York, and he saw Art Deco at Central Square or something.
Yeah.
And after that, he wanted to make a game Art Deco, and then they're like, oh yeah, we have this idea of making a game based on a place under the sea, and it all came together, and then they decided to make a BioShock game. So it was weird.
Yeah, I heard that if you collect certain what's it called, videos or recordings, you actually get this behind the scenes, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That's cool.
And also it comes with a virtual museum
Yeah.
where you can see a lot of the place on Colombia and stuff.
Nice, dude. That's pretty cool. I'd like to see that actually.
Yeah, it is pretty cool. It is pretty neat. Yeah, so overall the collection itself is a good buy, especially if you never played BioShock and you want to know what the whole fuss is about. BioShock 1 does feel a little bit dated, just a little bit dated, because like managing or using plasmids and stuff is a little bit clunky.
Right.
But it's still very playable and the story is still top notch.
Oh yeah,
And
man.
now going into the reviews, I actually did these reviews in the past, actually, that they are uploaded on our site, but they're in Spanish. So just really quick, grading each game. I did play 2 enough to grade it, and after you hear what I have to say about 2, you guys will understand why I don't really want to play 2 and the stream it. Okay, so the first BioShock, I'm gonna take us about 5 minutes, so it won't take much.
Okay.
First BioShock, it does deserve to be one of the best games last generation. It does deserve to be one of the best games ever. It has a really good story. It had some subjects that were not tackled on back in the day. It started a new trend of more thoughtful and more thought-provoking games.
Right.
The environment, the Rapture itself is like one of the biggest characters of the game. The city itself, even though when you arrive to the city, is after civil war and everybody killed each other and pretty much the city is decaying. After you arrive, it still feels alive. Something pretty weird for a straightforward game as BioShock, because it is not an open world game like other games. You can revisit places and environments are open, but it is very straightforward. It's just a linear game. You just push forward, and but even though it's not an open world game and it's only you against just these mutated maniacs, it does feel pretty full of life and it's full of character. It has some of the best art designs ever.
Hell yeah, it does.
Art design ever. So even if you play the original game, not the collection, you will still be struck by how pretty the game looks. Gameplay-wise, again, it is very playable still. It doesn't feel like going back to, for example, System Shock, but it has a little bit of clunky mechanics. For example, you cannot wield a gun and a plasmid at the same time. Your melee weapon, you have to equip the wrench to melee. So that can make some fights a little bit more difficult. And besides melee characters pretty much useless. Plasmids is the name of the game. As you know, and this is not spoiler anymore because it's a 7-year-old game, I mean a 10-year-old game, but you can either save or harvest the Little Sisters, and Little Sisters are these girls that collect this special ingredient that you need to buy mutations called plasmids. You can harvest them or save them, and if you save them, they help you at the end and you get the good ending. If you harvest them, you get the bad ending. And yeah, you get to fight the last fight against the main boss by yourself. The game is pretty well paced. There is a point when the game changes after you meet the main villain of the game.
Right.
Everybody knows about that. Everybody heard about
the plot twist.
Plot twist.
Yeah,
exactly,
the famous plot twist, dude.
And something that is funny is. The plot twist up to that point is very implicit, so it's actually it's very implicit. It's not explicitly said like oh, you are the son of this guy and yeah, whatever. No, it's not like you actually need, even though it is revealed to you, you still need to think a little bit to put 1 and 2 together. And after that, the second half of the game kind of doesn't drag, but it changes. The story changes a little bit. and it becomes more of a revenge game,
Yeah.
or of a revenge story, and loses a little bit of steam. But it's still really good. It's still very, very good. And again, one of the best games last generation. If you have a 360, Xbox, or a PC, it's a must buy. You should have got it, like when it came out. If not, get the BioShock collection.
It was a big must buy, dude. When I first played that, that just changed my way of gaming forever, dude.
Same here. I remember the first time that I learned about BioShock 2 is when I had a 360. I saw a video, an E3 demonstration. It took me forever to find the other day. An E3 demonstration with Ken Levine, when he talked that BioShock was. He said that BioShock was Shooter 2.0, and he was talking about plasmids and how you can play with the AI, and how you have a lot of freedom on how to tackle battles and how to navigate and all that. And yeah, that's some of the cool things. Like if you start think about it and you start to mess around with the game, you realize like how sandboxy it is, even though, as I mentioned, it is just a very straightforward shooter.
Right.
And yeah, it did change first-person shooters and RPG first-person shooters a lot. Like, it is one of the most influential games ever. It is one of the best game ever. It is on the top 10 of many people, including myself. And yeah, you must get it. It's an essential from us. So go get it. If you don't have it, go get the BioShock collection.
So you're saying it's worth it then? Of course it is. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, BioShock 1, yeah, of course. BioShock 2. Okay, BioShock 2.
My favorite.
First of all, it wasn't made. It wasn't. I'm gonna try to be objective again.
Okay.
I am very biased. I'm gonna explain why I don't like BioShock 2.
Right.
And I'm gonna make it clear and brief. But okay, the game. First of all, it wasn't made. It wasn't made by Irrational Games, the makers of the original game. It was made by 2K Australia. That's the first yellow flag, or the first red flag. Okay. So this game was made mostly as a cash-in on how popular BioShock was. So it took a lot of the people, even though the people on 2K Australia and 2K Marine, the people who made this game, were involved on making the first BioShock, they took the less important things on the game and ran with it and made their game that feels like a fan-made game. And that's the reason why I don't like it. It's not that I don't like it because the gameplay is bad, because the gameplay is actually better than BioShock 1. Right. It is more playable. It is way more playable than BioShock 1 because you can wield plasmids and guns at the same time.
And have a big drill.
Exactly, you have a big drill because, spoiler alert, you play as a big daddy. You
a
play
walking
as a big
tank.
Daddy. And that's the thing. It's not, you don't even feel as bad as a big daddy. Big daddy is, as you mentioned, it's a big Hulk, a big tank. The big daddy on BioShock, and they do explain it story-wise because he was a prototype, whatever, and he's weaker than the common big daddies, whatever.
They don't want to make him OP, you know what I'm saying? So they have to put something on there. Exactly.
So, yeah. But the thing is, you don't feel as bad as playing it. Anyways, gameplay-wise, the game is good. It is more playable than BioShock 1. It refined a lot of the systems on that game, but the story is where it fails. And the thing is, I love BioShock for their stories, not for the gameplay. And the story fails hard. Why? Because again, they run with the less important things, and the thing is, they took some decisions on the story that makes you realize that the people who made this game do not even understand.
Like the source material, right? The actual source material. I noticed, I think there was a big video on how they contradicted some of the stuff in this BioShock game.
Exactly. There's a lot of points that contradict itself, and not only plot things, but also like philosophy.
Yeah, there you
go. Philosophically and ethically and other things. Like, for example, the thing that you have like a cult that worships this person, and they have like a religion, whatever. Like, the fuck, like they created this city to get away from religion. So the people who were here, they were pretty much a skeptic atheist. So why the fuck do you have a cult and they all worship a person? That's pretty stupid. Doesn't make sense. It is not. It doesn't feel part of the game. Then you have like, you have like every aspect of the game is pretty much wrapped up on the first game, but then these guys come, and they start like putting up characters that, oh, you have like this big character, well, we have a bigger character that is more important because reasons, because we want to make a fanfic game. So the story feels fanfic, and I hate fanfic, and that's the reason why I don't like BioShock 2. I dislike it because the story feels written by someone who doesn't understand the game.
Well, it wasn't by Ken Levine, that's for sure.
Yeah, and the guy's pretty cool about the game. I mean, he blessed it, and he's like, oh, I'm very cool with the game, whatever. I personally, as a fan of the game, I don't like it. I hate it. I despise it because of that reason. It is not like that all the time. Sometimes even creators of things killed their franchises. An example, you have George Lucas and Star Wars. So not always having the original creator makes things better or consistent, but in this case, they fucked it up. They royally fucked it up, and it feels a drag playing it because the story doesn't push me, and the gameplay, even though it's better, is not. For example, it's not as snappy as playing a Halo game or Doom, which we're just showcasing right now, to push me forward. And the story is pretty much uninteresting, so it gets boring to me. Because the game, again, it is playable. It's a good game. It has good gameplay, but it's not as refined or as good as for me to play it 1, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, as I did with the other BioShock games. Regardless, again, I'm gonna be pretty objective. And one thing, it has one of the better DLCs on the history of the game, which is the Minerva's Den chapter. Is very good. It has a very good story, much better than the original game. So just because of that, I will recommend it as a buy. Because again, regardless of how much I don't like it and how much I despise it, I still think some people that can get past that and not be a fanboy about it, they can enjoy it. And it does expand the mythos of BioShock a little bit, and it shows some interesting points on Rapture.
Right.
So some people who are not too stringy about the story like me might enjoy it. So and still, like, it's a BioShock game, so it still has all the iconic parts and it has some badass moments. So yeah, I will still recommend it as a buy, but yeah, just learn that I don't like it. All right.
Sounds good.
Finally, and I have one of my best written pieces is up there about this game, BioShock Infinite.
First of all, saving last for the best, right?
The best for the last, yeah.
Go ahead, sorry.
I'll go on.
I'm about to say, when BioShock Infinite first came out, we made a marathon, dude, like a 24-hour all-night marathon. Remember that? And I still got that footage, actually.
It'll be cool to repost it here, so people can see it.
There you go. Yeah, well, I'll figure something out. But anyways, yeah, continue for one of the masterpieces of BioShock.
Yeah, and and it was and Charlie be my witness. That's the game that I've been the most hyped about, even Mass Effect 3, and I'm a huge fan of Mass Effect.
Oh yeah,
BioShock Infinite. BioShock Infinite is probably not the best game ever. It is not the best. It has a lot of flaws. It has a lot of plot holes, whatever you call it. But to me, it is my favorite game ever. Because why? I don't know why. It hits some emotional chords with me, and I get very, very emotional. I got very invested on the story and these characters. I feel like when I started playing again on the BioShock collection, it felt like coming back home. And I still got very emotional in parts that I got emotional on the previous games. On the first time that I played it, like for example, getting propelled up to Colombia for the first time.
Oh my God, how beautiful was that, dude?
And seeing it at 60 frames per second on 1080p without the jaggies and all the weird graphical artifacts was just very
mind-blowing.
It was delicious. It was exquisite. And the game doesn't look last gen. It has some things, like for example, it doesn't have dynamic shadows, things that you see in other games like Doom showcasing right now, Deus or other newer games. Some of the bells and whistles, but still the art style is so solid, so good that they still looks. It doesn't look like it's a last gen game. It looks pretty much made probably for this generation. And it's not that old. It's just about 3 years old. Everything art-wise in that game is perfect. I mentioned it before in my previous review, and I mentioned it again. It's one of those games you can just stop and take a screenshot, and it will look awesome. It will look like something you can put on you can print on a piece of paper and just hang it on your wall.
Nice.
It is that good. The art style is that solid and that good. The music, well, has one of the best soundtrack ever. Original soundtrack and licensed soundtrack. Some reimagining of 80s songs and newer songs. Imagine as if they came out on the 1900s.
Oh no.
Then it has Will the Circle Be Unbroken, which is besides Terra's theme on Final Fantasy VI, my favorite game song ever, which is saying a lot, knowing that I'm a music geek.
Music geek.
Exactly, it has those little moments, little details. The world again is so full of life, and it has the little details that get you every time. Like the first time that you visit the shanty town, or the first time, or just starting the game and just walking on the streets of Colombia before the shit hits the fan. It's just mind blowing. It's amazing. And it does so much with so little, because this is not an open world game. It's even more streamlined and more straightforward than BioShock 1 and BioShock 2. Way more straightforward than those games, and still it feels more open, and it feels like more full of life and details. And gameplay wise, of all the three, is the better one. It is very, very playable. It doesn't feel outdated at all. It is very good. The gameplay is extremely solid. It is more in tune with modern sensibilities. The ending is still one of the best endings of gaming ever. It is mind-blowing. I recommend you to play it just to get to the ending, and just to try to bend your head around it, try to make sense of everything.
How about your best, huh? How about the DLC? Is that are you talking about including the DLC?
No, this is just vanilla.
I see. Okay.
The DLC was made to bridge. The thing is, this is the thing about the DLC. I don't have as much regard for the DLC as I had for the vanilla game, because one reason. Some people had, back in the day when the game came out, some people had a lot of criticism for the story, because somehow Irrational tried to, and this is something that also BioShock 2 is to blame, tried to reconciliate how BioShock 1 and BioShock Infinite were related, but they found plot points which I find completely moronic and stupid, because the whole point of BioShock Infinite was talking about alternate realities and infinite worlds and infinite timelines and all that. So it doesn't matter how different and how unrelatable two things are, still the topic of the game makes sense, because you're talking about infinite universes that can be completely different, polarized different, but be the same, right? So it's stupid. So it makes me feel, some of the critics of the game, especially of the story, make me think like, dude, have you traveled on time or whatever? Like, how the fuck do you know things wouldn't make sense, or doesn't make sense just because there is no one who's an expert on time travel, because there is no time travel. So
expert on time travel, I know. How can that happen? Son of a.
Anyways, the thing is, Burial at the Sea was made to kind of like explain some plot points and bridge BioShock Infinite and the original BioShock, and it was made reactionary to the criticism. It wasn't planned ahead of the release of the game. So a lot of the things, they feel forced. A lot of the things they made on that DLC feel forced, and feel appeasing the vocal minority. who didn't like. It is good. Very Let's See is good. The cool thing about the collection is that you get it for free. So it's cool, it's good, it's worth playing it. Plus, in one of the chapters, you play as Elizabeth, which is one of the most badass characters ever. So and it has important things on the story about BioShock 1 and BioShock Infinite. So that's why I recommended to play it. But it's not nothing mind-bending or mind-blowing as the vanilla game. And if it wasn't obvious enough, this is a must-buy. It's pretty much an essential. You must have BioShock Infinite in your collection, regardless platform that you're playing. Even if you only have a Nintendo Wii U, you have to have that game, and even if you never open it, just have it on your shelf. It is that good. It is my favorite game of last generation. Period. I platinum that game once, and I'm planning to platinum again. If let's hope broadcast is open by probably 2 weeks, because I'm gonna be doing my platinum run, and I want you guys join me on that and see me geek out about things. And I already finished that game 5 times, so, and every time that I finish it, I still get touched by the same moments. So like, dude, I tear at the ending and stuff like that, and at the credits when they start playing Will the Circle Be Unbroken, I still get tear-eyed and stuff. So yeah, you might not, you don't want to miss that. So let's hope they open or they allow broadcasting by then.
I hope so, man.
That's
hopefully.
My review of BioShock. So there you go. That's my review of BioShock, and you heard me talking for about half an hour. So Charlie, take the microphone now.
Right now I'm kicking ass in Doom, dude. I'm like really whooping ass here, dude. I'm like the ultimate demon slayer here. But I mean, like I said, this game I could kind of play mindlessly. I could do 2 things at once with this game because it's kind of fast paced and it's kind of a mindless shooter in a way, which I love. I love it a lot. So yeah, like you said, BioShock, I mean, it's like a no-brainer. The game was awesome when it first came out. It was groundbreaking. The graphics were up to par. It was everything. And now with this remake, when I first heard it, I'm like, you know what, this is going to be a must get. And I knew that you were going to get it for sure, so I'm not surprised you're saying that it's a must buy. So, and for that, I got to get it myself.
Yeah, you must get it. You must get it yourself. I did hear that the Xbox One version is better, runs better.
Really?
They did receive a day 1 patch. The PlayStation has not received the patch yet.
What
so,
the fuck?
Yeah, they actually Digital Foundry. They say that, and they're pretty legit when it comes to these things.
Of course.
So I did get the PlayStation. I didn't pre-order. I just got it like that. I did get the PlayStation version because I want to get Platinum Trophy on BioShock Infinite. Because to me it's like a ritual. It's like going through the Harry Potter book every year, whatever. So yeah, that's why I got it on PlayStation. But if you want to get it, you might look to get it on Xbox.
I might, dude. I just might.
PlayStation.
And I might get my own review to see if it's so different than than what you played it on the PS4. I bet it's not much of a difference at all, dude. But I mean, it'd be kind of cool to play. I would love to go back to Rapture. I mean, like I said, when that first game came out, I bought it for the 360. And I had a projector and everything, and man, that game really blew my mind. And that game came out at a time where it was like a special time for gaming for me. So I mean, that definitely hits a soft spot. So yeah, it's a must get.
Yes, it is one of those games. BioShock is one of those games that get talked about when you talk about Final Fantasy VII or Super Mario Bros. 3 or those games. It's like one of the best games ever. It's like those influential games that actually made a difference in gaming. So
yeah, of course.
And it's funny because when you hear Ken Levine talking about the game, he actually never even imagined that the game was gonna get this big. I mean, he wanted to make a quality game, and he wanted to make a good game.
Right.
But he came up from smaller projects and games that were not that good. And then BioShock just blew up, like just exploded into this big thing, onto this behemoth of a franchise. And then he's like, dude, that's actually the reason why he quit making BioShock games. Actually, just recently he was interviewed on I think MTV of all places, and that's what he said, like, I never expected BioShock to be this big, and BioShock Infinite pretty much trained me, so I got to get away of all this and just go back to make smaller projects, smaller games, because this was taking a toll, like a mental toll on me.
Yeah, because I remember he was saying that he promised his fans that each time he made a BioShock, it would raise the bar of his previous one. And after BioShock Infinite, that's going to be pretty damn hard, dude. So I'm just guessing he's going to reinvent the wheel and come out with something new, something different. And hopefully, I mean, it should be successful. If not, I would like to play his games. I mean, I love his style. I love the way he tells stories. So I look forward to whatever he's planning that comes out. Wasn't the Black Hand or something like that he was working on? Some sort of indie game?
Yes. No, it wasn't him. It was people from Irrational, but not him.
Oh,
Actually,
I see.
I think he has not revealed whatever he is making yet. But he is making a game. He hasn't talked about it yet. Let's hope we can hear something about it. Probably getting back on the spotlight with the collection might make him spill the beans finally. But yeah, I think nothing has been revealed. Although if you like BioShock, there are 3 games to look forward to. These are my recommendations. One, that game that you mentioned, the Black Hand. It is made by a team of people working on Irrational on the first BioShock game. So there you go. It is still stylistically very similar to BioShock. It is like old 50s Art Deco type. Then there's this game coming out also for Xbox One, I think, called Tacoma, like the city in Washington, and the brand of trucks.
Tacoma. You're right.
Tacoma, that is also made by ex-staffers in Irrational. That is pretty much System Shock and BioShock in one. It's like in the space, Rogue AI, space, Art Deco, and mutant powers. So that game, and the other game that's already available on Xbox One as early access, Happy Few. That stylistically also looks very BioShock-ish.
I actually played a demo of that. Game. Yeah, I played a demo of that actually.
So I haven't played it. Tell us how is it?
It has a pretty good ideas, dude. The game is kind of creepy. It runs to the fact that you're under like a Big Brother type of setting, and everyone's taking this drug called I forgot what it's called, the Happy Pill or Happy something. At the beginning of the game, you have the choice. You're working. You're like your work is you're like a newspaper editor, so you got to erase these things from the newspaper that the public will not see. So you're like you're kind of like the filter of what the people get. But it comes to the point that you start getting depressed and you have the choice to take this pill or not. I chose not to take it, but I guess if you take it, I guess the day, how you say, the day starts over again until you don't take the pill, I guess. I don't know. But you stop taking the pill and all of a sudden you start getting these memories of what happened in the past, and people start noticing they haven't taken your pill, and all of a sudden they all start running after you like frantic, how do you say it? Like crazy people, dude. It's very creepy. It's very weird. But the game has a lot of good ideas, and it's unfinished from what I understand. It's an indie game that's unfinished, so when you buy it, it's still in progress. So there's a lot of bugs and stuff on it, but you're right. It's very, very BioShock-like, and it does have a lot of good ideas, dude. I mean, I want to play it once it's complete, because I don't like buying games when it's not really completed. But I mean, it's definitely worth putting your sights on, though. The game is very interesting. Oof. Sorry.
Yeah, and yeah, actually that's the same criticism I've seen in other places. Yeah, I'm also waiting for the full release, and I think it's coming out around March or April next year.
Right.
So we're still a few months away. And plus whatever Ken Levine makes. I don't think he'll do something similar to BioShock. It might be something completely different. Who knows? But yeah, he's still a genius. Whatever.
True that.
Yeah. So BioShock the collection. Go get it.
Go get it. Go buy it. It's worth it. Come back to Rapture and to Columbia. Go back home. Come back home.
After podcast is done and Charlie goes and picks up Caro, he's gonna go buy it. I know.
That's right. So meanwhile, I'm getting my ass kicked by demons. Yeah, life is calling right now. Responsibilities is calling me right now. So thank you for listening to the podcast. Like, subscribe. We'll have some more cool stuff coming up, and also you have your own little thing coming up too. You're gonna have a little gameplay, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna have a little gameplay. Actually, let's see what time is it. Okay, in about half an hour, I might stream on the other channel.
Okay.
Some fighting games because I feel like it. And one other thing, just a PSA. Shin Megami Tensei 4 Apocalypse came out for the 3DS. I got the 3DS only to play that game. Also, just if you have one and if you're into JRPGs and into SMT games, go get it.
Nice. All right, and on that note, also check out our promoter, Bluevos. We'll leave a link below. I mean, if you really want to get the edge of gaming, this was brought to you by Bluevos, so go check that out. Everything is in the comment section below. Like, subscribe, and we will see you on our next video. So live long and game on. Anything else?
Game on. That's all.
All right.
Game on. Game on.
Game on. Peace.
Peace.
We go.